Last year, Amazon initiated the largest layoffs in its history. It looked to cut 27,000 jobs almost across every aspect of its company, and it's still going on today. So why is this happening? Well, there's a couple of reasons, and we'll explore it in a second. But let me start off by saying this. The reason that Amazon is taking this approach to begin with is because demand isn't there. Why isn't the demand there? Well, we've had a couple of years now of a softer economy. The cost of living is higher. People have less discretionary spending available to them after the cost of living absorbs everything that they make. So there's less money left over to get on Amazon and buy products. So let me point out this fact. This past August, Canadians suffered the second highest insolvency rate on record. What does that say? There's a lot of people hurting, almost on the verge of bankruptcy. That doesn't give you a lot of money there to spend on Amazon products. What impacts might it have on real estate? Well, there's two perspectives to take on this. If Amazon is going to shed employees, most likely they're also going to shed the warehouse space that they need to house all their products, since less people are ordering things. So if there's less warehouse space needed, a couple of things are going to happen. More of that warehouse space is going to go on the market as subleases, or a lot of that warehouse space is going to be given back to the landlords. What does that say for vacancy? What does that say for supply? There will be an oversupply of warehouse space in the market, and there'll be a higher vacancy rate of available vacant space. On the other side, Amazon is implementing a return to office mandate. Now, seems kind of noble. They want everybody to come back and foster the culture, but I think there's also an ulterior motive to doing that. It's actually going to save them money by forcing people to come back, and what will end up happening is there will be a natural attrition of those people reluctant or opposing to come back because they live way further out there than where the Amazon offices would be, and they want to avoid the congestion and the cost it takes to go back to work each day for 5 days a week. So imagine if a portion of those people decide they don't want to come back and actually resign as a result of it, that will actually help Amazon with their layoff initiative. They'll actually save a lot of money because people will quit rather than being fired. If they quit, you might not have to pay them severance or any compensation at all, as opposed to laying them off or firing them. So it's a natural form of attrition that's actually going to save Amazon a lot of money. That's why I say there's an ulterior motive here. But let's say, for instance, people do come back to the office. What does that mean for the office sector? Actually, there's a big spillover effect. When you got a big office contingent like in Amazon, let's say downtown Toronto, then all those employees coming back means all that money that they're going to spend is coming back with them. They'll come back to the office, they'll have to spend money on food, have to spend money on coffee, they're going to have to get their clothes dry cleaned because they're coming to the office every day, which means all the retail services or everything that's retail on the concourse level, and if you know Toronto, there's an underground path system, they're all going to benefit from that population coming back. So there's a lot of things at play here that could change and disrupt the market for the better in some cases and worse in other real estate sectors. So maybe not to the benefit of the industrial side of things, maybe not to the benefit of all the other suppliers that feed into the Amazon ecosystem. There's going to be a curtailing of business that's going to hurt them to some extent, and as a result, they're going to have their own office and industrial problems or benefits, depending on the policies that they uptake. But I can say this, Amazon is not the first one to initiate these moves. The major banks have all done this. They've laid off people. They've cut people off. At the same time, they've asked them to come back to the office. This is happening more so in the US than it is here in Canada, but it does have repercussions both in those asset classes, whether it's the office asset class or the retail asset class or the industrial asset class. Our own governments are doing this, both on a federal level, asking people to come back to work, to fill up those office towers. In fact, on the provincial level here in Ontario, Doug Ford asked for government agencies to mandate people back to work in the downtown core to help support business in the downtown cities. So we also see this lately with Canada Post mandating a lot of their workers back to the office again. So there's a lot of things that are going on in play, but Amazon's not the first one, but they're probably the biggest and have the most impact on what will happen next in the economy. And more relevantly to real estate, what will happen to each of those asset classes going forward. So that's my take on those Amazon layoffs. Good or bad, love to know what you think about it. Let me know in the comments. So please like and subscribe, and if you like this kind of content, tap on that notification bell so you know exactly when we start producing more of these videos.